Welcome back, KingShiggity here. Today I'm gonna be doing an offline MyLeague. Um, what I want to do is I just kind of want to go over the settings and sliders and how I get it all set up because I try to make it as realistic as possible. So I'll go over all the things that I'll change in the settings and sliders so that way you guys can do it. I mean, you guys can do whatever you guys want. So, alright, current NBA teams, I'll do that. I'm going to start in the regular season so that way all the teams have their draft picks, free agents or trades or anything. All the teams are the same coming into the year as they were in real life. So we'll start in regular season, do setup options. So what I usually do is turn this to 8 minutes because when you play the game, usually 8 minutes will get you the same score at the end of the game as if you were to sim the game. So it kind of just equals out after playing it. So when you play it, you'll have the same score, stats, and everything. Um, Normalize play to sim minutes I turn on so that way if you play a game, let's say you play a 5 minute game, when you go back to the season to sim or whatever, it will say that your team played a 48-minute game. So it'll sim your minutes to as if you played the entire game or whatever minutes they played. Um, so what else I'll do? I'll keep progressive fatigue on so that way players don't get or they don't constantly improve through their careers or like if they get injured, obviously they're gonna lose a little bit or if they come back. I mean, so that plays a big role when you're simming a my league. So I like to keep that on just to keep it more interesting. Sometimes I'll turn it off, or a lot of times I'll turn it off just to have fun, like play around and stuff. Um, Today I want to try to keep it as realistic as possible, so I'm going to keep that on. Salary cap, I'm going to keep that on, but what I usually do is I put this up to about 119, 124. I'll put it up to 124 today. This seems pretty close to about what the real NBA's is. And then I'll put the inflation rate down though, because it seems like the inflation doesn't go up too fast, but you want to have a decent cap still. And then hard cap I'll keep on, but I'll put this up to about 220, somewhere between 215 to 225, so I'll do 220 today. Expected salary. So this is what the players are going to expect in contract re-signing or free agency or anything. So if you, like where it says raising the slider means higher player rating or higher rated players will only expect a minimum contract. So you're going to want that at least a little bit higher. I like to put it at 100 because it makes it easy. No players will want more than, let's say, 60 million a year, which is still a decent amount, but you won't really go over that amount. And then so the max rating, it says lowering the slider means lower rated players will expect a max contract. So that being said, you're going to want to raise that so they don't want so lower rated players don't want a max contract. But then salary curve, you want to lower this all the way down. So there's not much of a difference in salary curve. All this stuff I usually keep the same. I like to put this up to 40 just to switch up like the free agents signings and where the players go. Other than that, I keep all this stuff basically the same. You can mess around with this, but it doesn't do too much. Um, I keep all this on. Injuries I'm going to keep on if you want to make it realistic. If not, you can keep injuries off and it'll be a little bit more fun. You don't have to worry about this or that. With injuries on, what sucks about it is if you're playing and you have a certain game plan and lineup set, and let's say one of your players gets hurt, you're going to have to constantly fix your lineup, or you're just going to want the computer to do it for you, which kind of sucks because they don't give your guys the minutes that you want, or they don't put in who you want. But then if you keep injuries on or off, then it's just not as realistic. So I don't know. It's up to you. Um, so I am going to start with, who should I start with today? From Michigan, so I usually go with Detroit. I've done a lot of Detroit leagues. They just seem easy. Cade Cunningham gets really good in this game, so future reminder. Who's not good? Dude, I gotta go with Detroit. That's my team. I've just been lifelong fans. So we're gonna keep all this the same for now. So I like to load my draft classes, and we're in 2021, so that means we're gonna need the 2022 draft. So I'll go to user created, and where it just says 2022 NBA draft. There's been 116 updates, but you can tell it's the main one because of how many downloads it has. So we're gonna just download that one. You want a storyline for the players. So now in the scout, you can look at mock draft. So we got all these young players that are about to come into the league next year. So with injuries on, you don't really need to care about this stuff too much, because if they get hurt, like I said, the computer's either gonna fix it or you're gonna have to constantly do it. So I mean, that's up to you if you want to constantly do it or just have the computer. I usually just let the computer sim it. It's just, like I said, I try to make things as realistic as possible, so it's what the coaches and everything, the staff would want. So I just let them do what they're gonna do. The coaching right here, this stuff's really important. This stuff and this stuff, if you want a good or bad team. And so my experience with the Pistons, because they don't have that good of a roster, and knowing how they're doing in real life, what pick do we have? We're projected the second pick in the draft. And if we're projected the second, that means I want to tank because I want to keep that pick. So what I'm going to do in the coaching game plan, like I said, I don't want to worry about the minutes. I'll let them do what they want to do. What I'm going to do is lower help defense to 0, run plays to 0, zone usage 0, bench depth, we'll use everyone on the bench. Bench utilization, the higher the more you use your bench, so we're going to put that up. Doesn't matter how good you're doing. The coach will play you. Doesn't matter. And this, I'm going to lower all the way. We'll keep the same playbook. Put all this to no preference. Alright, so right here, that is how we are going to tank. If you don't want to tank, I would not recommend on doing what you just watched me do. Once I get the players I want this coming up off season, I'll think about, or if we're good enough, I would switch it back. If we're going to want to tank again, I'll probably keep it the same. Most likely though, knowing what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to end up turning these all back up and putting all these to where I want them, so that way we have a good coaching scheme and point of emphasis and everything throughout the season. So like I said, this is a tanking season, so let's just kind of see what happens. You want to pay attention to your contract extension so you don't lose any key players. Right now they're both ineligible, so we're not going to do anything. I like to sim to the All-Star break just to kind of make sure everything's going smoothly. We're going to let auto handle roster and rotation. Like I said, you can manually do it, but I want to tank, so I'm just going to let the coach do what they want to do. And also, if we start to do too good, then I might put someone in the reserve so that way they're not playing. I'm gonna do always automate G League related situations. So as you can tell, we're doing basically just as good as the Pistons are in real life right now. We're 4-20. It's not looking too good for us, which is a good thing because we want to try to get the top pick next year. Man, we buns, which, like I keep saying, that's a good thing, but man, it's weird seeing my team lose and lose and lose. Oh, got me some bacon. Gotta love some bacon. I'm gonna let the computer adjust these. So again, I like to just let the computer sim most things in this, just because I want it to be as realistic as possible when it comes to rebuilding the team. If you sit there and you have like progressive fatigue and injuries off and these other little things, then it makes the rebuilding process a lot easier. So doing this, not only is it more realistic, but it just gives you more of a challenge to do as you're playing. Dang, the Pistons are doing basically just as good as we are in real life. 7-40, about to be 7-40. What are we in real life? I'm about to look it up. Right now, the Pistons. We are 7-30. So in this game, we're actually a little worse now. We'll see if the Pistons lose 10 straight games in real life. Alright, so now we're at the All-Star break. Let's look at injuries, see if we have any injuries on our team. Hamidou Diallo. Dude, I went to a game a few weeks ago and he went off. Who was it against? The Knicks? Oh my god. Was he dropped 30? And Sadiq Bey dropped 30? Dude, in real life, I think the Pistons have a bright future if they just stick with their plan. Well, I hope their plan is bright. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like they're just winging it 90% of the time, which is scary. Alright, so injuries are good. Contract extensions are good. Scouting mock drafts. We are projected the first pick right now. Hopefully that stands. The draft lottery is what's scary though. What are the worst teams in the league? 9-49. So basically Orlando and the Rockets are pretty much even. I mean, the Rockets haven't played as many games, but they both have won 11, and Magic's 50 and Rockets have 47 losses. So let's just finish the season. Simulate the play in, not play off. Dang, Zion just took out LeBron. And KD, no way. This game, Zion Williamson. Is he that good? Staff retirement. Greg Popovich retired. Bye, Papa. I'm just letting everything sim. I just wanted to see what rules got changed. Draft lottery. This is what scares me. We were projected the first pick. Hopefully we keep it. No, did we really just get the 5th pick in the draft? Come on. Alright, this is where we get crazy. Started the draft. The draft lottery should be enough motivation to make your team better now. Fire everyone but Dwayne Casey. Well, I don't know. He's pretty good. I'm going to offer him more years. Oop, not appearance. Duh. Attributes. Years left. 4. Keep changes. Other than that, we got the 1st and 5th pick now. And that is how you do it. Apollo or Chet. I'm going with Chet. I have experience with him in 2K. I like how he plays. load the 23 draft. Alright, so training camps. If you send your young guys to Untapped Potential, they get good so fast. So I'm going to send Cade, Chet, and Jabari all to Untapped Potential. Alright, go back to coach and game plan, change what we changed before, help defense. Put this to 30, run plays, I put this to 70. Zone usage, I put this to 20. Bench depth, I put this to 10. Bench utilization, I put this at about 38. Put this at about 45. Keep that. Put this at about 45. Make sure we're on the Pistons playbook. Offensive focus. Neutral. Average. Some crash. Neutral. Play physical and crash. And now we are good. Contract extensions. I don't know yet. We're gonna sim to the All-Star break. Coming up to the All-Star break now. Let's see what is happening in the league. Jeremy Grant will offer him a contract extension. Try to get as, oh my goodness. Try to get as little as possible. Offer him about that. Luka, we don't care if you come back. Injuries. Who's injured on our team? Oh my god. Cade Cunningham and Clint Capella are both injured. No wonder we're doing ass. Alright. Well, hopefully we make playoffs. No match for us, and now we get to beat the Browns' ass. And the Pistons just won their fourth championship in their entire franchise's history. Thanks to Cade Cunningham, averaging 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, 1.5 steals. Shooting 55%. Certified baller.